doesn't end well unless it ends. Can't just report the fucking obvious.
I don't care what a critic got to say, I got them picking up the pieces. That mean you really playing with your life, I'm about to come and
Just
run it
a
all back.
motherfucking jump. Just go.
You ain't fitting.
And the other fucking guy joins me. He's back from his big trip to New York City.
Oh, man.
And that's a cool thing. Your very first trip to New York City.
It was a great time, honestly. It was amazing.
That's great. So tell me a little bit about it and tell the audience a little bit about the reason you went there and everything.
Oh, okay. The reason we were out in New York was because we were invited by 3 different production companies to cover some fashion stuff in New York through Arizona Fashion Week. We had Le Creme, which we were able to do a little recap for their fashion. They had a fashion show inside the mall, and we got to visit New Jersey for a little bit for that shoot.
Yeah, you're in Jersey.
Man, it's the difference between New York and Jersey, and they're glued together, and it's crazy. But yeah, we were able to do the recap in the mall for Le Creme, and we actually were able to manage to get an interview with the CEO basically of the company. So that was huge. We also got to go with Arizona Fashion Week. We got to cover a few Arhart. I got to experience my first runway show, which was amazing. Got to meet a lot of incredible people, went to a lot of different like after parties and all this and that to network with a bunch of people, got to experience New York for what New York is.
Yeah.
All the food, it's almost exactly how people kind of imagine it. It's very dirty, very packed, but also very, very beautiful. The food's amazing. The people are much nicer than people make them out to be.
Much nicer than you expected.
Much nicer. And people might look like they're a little upset or whatever, but if you go up to them and ask them a question or say this, and that, a lot of people are very, very like adamant on talking and like having an actual conversation. So it's
cool,
amazing.
No, yeah.
Yeah, no, riding the buses or the trains, probably one of my favorite things, honestly. Like not having to get into a car. Oh man, my legs were shot when I got back. My calves were killing me, but it was great. We walked so much. We saw so much. I have a bunch of pictures on this SD card that I need to.
Yeah. How did you feel about safety? Because we hear so much about that when you were on the subway.
I felt safe. I don't know if it's because I was just having this conversation with someone else. I don't know if it was because I'm a man or whatever that I felt more secure and safe.
And you weren't alone, right?
For the most part, no. Like I think 2 out of 3 out of the days, a majority of the day, it was at least 3 people, if not anywhere from 6 to 10. But most of them were models. So because we were walking them to their casting or this or that or that or this. We had some people from Arizona Fashion Week that were with us, some people that kind of put things together and organized the whole event. The reason that we were able to stay in New York and stuff like that, all thanks to them. But no, I didn't feel any. I definitely 1 or 2 points when I was going down like a street, like at night. It was like 12, 1 and 2 in the morning. But for the most part, like people tend to mind their business.
Did that feel like a movie?
I kid you not. It felt so surreal. It definitely felt like a movie. At some points in times, like walking, like I said, the subway, we got to experience not only like it being completely empty and there being no one in the subway,
right.
and then the next day it's packed. Everyone's ass to ass. Like it's like super packed. It's amazing. Got to see like some street performers. Got to see some crazy stuff. Like I got to see a rat in New York.
You saw a New York rat.
Yeah, I kind of made like a little.
Oh my God.
I made like a little mini checklist of things that like stereotypical things to see in New York. A rat was definitely on there. I got to see like. I don't know why this fascinates me, but seeing actual trash men picking up trash off the sidewalk and stuff like that, like physically getting off the trash can and throwing it into the.
Oh yeah,
like
not the little arm thing.
Yeah,
they don't use that.
You don't get to see that around here. Yeah, no, people get off of the.
They still do it.
They still do that. Way. It's crazy. To me, that was like, what the fuck?
And it might be just because they have so much of it.
It's a dirty place. It is a very, very, very dirty place. But it's like one of those things where it's dirty, but you kind of don't really notice unless you're staring at the ground because there's just so much going around you, like the lights, the people.
Right.
There's just so much, but it is a very dirty city. That I will have to say. Like but it seems like no one really minds too much. Like it's just like part of the culture. I think
They're just used to it.
they're just used to it. The my other favorite thing about New York is the fact that no one like traffic. It's optional, right? Like the stoplights and stuff like that. Like you're supposed to wait with the stop hand or the man that walks
Yeah.
or whatever. Optional, completely optional. You check your left, you check your right. There's no car. You just keep on going.
Yeah, I always do that.
I love it. No, I would hate to drive a car in New York though, because the amount of people that just do not give a fuck about crossing the street or bikes or we saw like 2 or 3 different accidents. There was one right outside our hotel where the guy actually crashed and then ran because apparently he had warrants or something. So he was gone. He was gone as soon as he crashed the car. No, it was amazing. I loved it.
Just left the car and ran.
And it was a really nice BMW. People were speculating.
Holy shit!
Oh man, it was.
Maybe he stole it.
That was my assumption. The person, because it happened right outside of our like hotel thing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The guy said that he probably had warrants, and that's probably why he left. But because there's weirdly enough, there was like 3 big boulders on like right next to the bike lane for some reason. I don't know. They've been doing a lot of construction recently, so but the rock was moved over like 10 feet, and the car was like the entire front bumper was fucked up. It was bad. But yeah, it was amazing. It really was amazing. I honestly kind of fell in love with New York. I'm not a city person.
Yeah.
I'm not big on the cities and anything, but something about New York it had me going. It like I was ready for the next day.
You had that energy, man.
Man, we were going to bed at like 3, 4 in the morning, waking up at like 6, 7 in the morning because it was an all day thing. We'd wake up, go to events, cover some things, and then go to the after parties because like everything
Now,
had a
what
purpose.
was the biggest main event that everybody was there for, and where was that held?
So that's the crazy part about this is that there was no big main event. It was hundreds of different events all happening all around the same time, all different locations.
So is it just like more of it's not a fashion show, more of a fashion
It's a fashion week. Yes.
and then different groups are contributing.
Correct. So we did get to experience, we were walking back from
multiple fashion shows.
multiple fashion shows by different people at different times at different venues. There was this one venue that was amazing. I didn't get a chance to go because obviously it was like top tier, like A-lister celebrities. We even got like we were walking back from leaving the models at that one place, like I said, and there was a big crowd surrounding like one of these doorways, and I was like, "What's going on there?" And one of the girls that we were walking with was like, "Hey, let's go over here." So we walked over to this crowd, and there's people just like paparazzi and everything. And I had no idea what's going on. And then cars started pulling up, and people like, you know how they get out of their cars, and all the paparazzi are doing. I got to experience that, so that was really cool. It was an experience. It really was. And
That's
and
awesome,
anyone
man.
that has not been to New York, I definitely highly recommend it. If you like fashion, definitely go through Fashion Week. It is a completely different experience from what I hear. It is definitely not as packed or anything like that.
Yeah.
If you don't go through Fashion Week, but it's again just experiencing the city itself.
Sure.
The delis, oh man, they were amazing. Being up until like 3, 4 in the morning, just being able to go into a shop, grab drink or some food or whatever you need to, like some midnight snack or whatever. It's amazing. I love New York. I really, really love New York. I didn't get a chance to see like the Statue of Liberty or things like that, but we were able to walk around Times Square and like
That's a good
see some stuff around here and there. The Empire State Building. A lot of it was within the same area, just because again everything was go. So we kind of had to keep up as much as we could, but it was amazing. I love it, and I cannot wait to go again.
I can tell, man. I love seeing that energy in you, man. That's fantastic. It really is. So,
How about you, Troy? What's going on with you this weekend, man?
well, I'm going to keep it short. I don't want to get too much into it, but the Phoenix Mercury fucked me. Tried to. Yeah. So we have the whole experience, with the situation and me getting removed from a game and then allowed back. And so when I last talked to my rep for the Phoenix Mercury, I said, like, I can't find the link. I had, already paid for my tickets for the next year, but what I hadn't done yet is I hadn't opted in for the playoffs.
Okay.
And the playoffs were going to be pay as you go.
Okay.
They were going to charge you, once they knew they were going to have a home game, then they charge you for that one. But, like we don't know if there's going to be a game 3. They have to win tonight for there to be a game 3 on Friday. So if they win tonight, then they'll charge me automatically.
Gotcha.
Right? Well, I couldn't find that email, so I talked to him, and that was when we were finally finished hashing everything out. And I said, and I mentioned that, and he said, no, I got you. You don't have to opt in. I'll opt in for you. I'll take care of it.
Okay.
So guess what happened?
He forgot to.
I don't know if he forgot. I know something happened with his family and he had to leave. That's what I found out. But still, you should have opted in right at that moment, right? Because I specifically said to him, I don't want anybody else sitting in my seats. I want my seats that I've had all year for 22 fucking home games, right? And so I don't see my tickets. I had to call for 2 days, talk to 5 different people. The 5th person finally helped me, and my seats were gone. So they found me seats on the other side, first row, but it was over a section slightly. There were still good seats, but not center court like I had, but they were okay. And they comped me the seats, which, okay. But it's more the point that just fuck up after fuck up. And then I did get to talk to my friend. I won't mention his name because I don't want him to get in trouble with the Phoenix Mercury. But some people were apparently not happy that he did the whole getting us a photo pass and stuff.
Oh,
gotcha. I was like, dude, I got to know what was the issue? Like, when you mentioned that to me, what was the issue? Well, some people just had a problem with it, I guess. And I said how stupid that was. And I don't know. It was just dumb. But we ended up talking to each other because, so you get these. It's not a
wristband.
It's a crappy wristband.
Oh,
okay?
like the fabric, the really
the
thick
fabric wristbands. Yeah. And you get that when you go in. If you're an X Factor member, if your tickets allow you to get in the lounge, you use your tickets. You get the green light, and the person puts it on you, right?
Yeah.
Well, we did that. We come in normally like we normally did, through the door we normally do, and it's that booth is right there once you're through. But again, our seats are on the other side. But what I wanted to do, and I told Dawn, and I didn't think it would be a big deal, I wanted to, pregame, I wanted to be in the lounge we're normally in, around the people we're normally around that we've made friends with.
Yeah.
Because, people saying, hey, where's Troy? I thought Dawn and Troy were going to be here. Well, we were there. So they don't have to ask that. So we did that. And I figured at halftime, we'd go under the other lounge.
Gotcha.
Well, apparently they used 2 different colors for the wristbands, which is totally stupid. Stupid market. So I got a little bit of a hassle from a girl, young person, that, about the color of my wristband. I'm like, I'm not going to the other side. I'm like, they messed up my tickets. They put my tickets here. We got the wristband over there. I'm not walking over there. And, I ended up showing her my tickets and we resolved it. And I didn't get really mad or mean, but yeah, I wasn't happy. My voice raised a little bit, like, I'm not going to do that. I was very stern. She went and cried, dude. I made her cry. Yep. Big bad Troy. Meanie bully Troy, which is totally believable that I made her cry. But I wasn't trying to make her cry, and you shouldn't have cried over that incident. It's solely, dude, this 20 to 25-year-old generation are just the softest fucking people I've ever encountered in my life, that they just can't handle any type of confrontation or know how to de-escalate or take care of situations. She could have just said, I totally get it, because it's really not a big deal. The food's the same on the same way.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get in a place that I'm not entitled to. So as an employee, yes, sometimes you have to ask your manager or your supervisor, and then sometimes you should just be fucking smart enough after a whole fucking season to just be like, yeah, that's good. I get it.
Sense.
Go on in. Right?
Common sense.
Am I not? Am I wrong about that? It's just that generation, dude. I'm so sick of it. It reminded me of a situation not long ago when I went into a Starbucks.
Okay.
And I was having a bodily function issue.
Uh-huh.
And I got into an argument with a guy because he didn't want to let me in the restroom, that I had to buy something first. I'm like, dude, I'll buy something. But I'm old. I need to go now. And he like refused. We got into an argument about it. Yeah.
That's
totally treated totally shitty, dude.
That's really weird because I worked at Starbucks before and we don't care, or at least back then, we did not care whether you bought something. The restrooms are
well,
public
they put
restrooms.
codes on them in shitty neighborhoods now, dude. You know that, right?
Oh,
on the bathroom doors.
You're right.
Yeah, I needed the code. Otherwise, I would have just said "fuck off" and walked in.
And just walked in.
If I could have walked in,
I guess that makes
you know
sense.
what I mean?
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. But just how he was, like all of a sudden acted like he was a victim and threatened. And you know what? You can speculate about everything else about him, right? And that might be a stereotype, but guess what? That stereotype is motherfucking true. And I'm tired of, with what's going on right now, and this just came to me. It was like my relationship with my ex, which was horrible, and that I tried to make good. Where you try to appease somebody and create peace because you just don't want the hassle, you just don't want to argue, and you're just trying to find a way to just get past it, because it's just not worth it. That's like what's going on right now, that we're walking on eggshells. As a conservative, I feel like I've been walking on eggshells, and I'm not good at walking on eggshells. I'm not good at that. And eventually, you just push us to the point where you're going to get the reaction from poking the bear, and then that person claims, "Oh, this is a bad person. Look at his emotional behavior." What the fuck did you expect? That you just aren't allowed unlimited times when you can just poke at somebody. And then when we fire back, we're the bad guy? No, we're not. Fuck you. It's like the shit I've seen online here last night even, that things people are saying about the killer, Tyler Robinson. He's not the motherfucking victim, okay? Stop trying to find an excuse for him about his parents, his schooling, society. Stop trying to find an excuse. Because honestly, don't give a fuck. There is no excuse. I literally don't give a fuck. Fuck that dude. It's not complicated. I don't have to understand him. You know what I understand? And just to keep it real simple, because I'm a simple guy, I see evil. Evil is what it is. But you have a whole bunch of people out there now that want to make excuses for it. How's that cancel culture working out for you motherfuckers? I don't believe in cancel culture. I don't. But I don't feel bad that a bunch of people have lost their jobs this past week and are continuing to lose their jobs. I don't feel bad at all. No empathy for you. because that's something else people have been posting. Oh, I don't have empathy for Charlie because he said empathy wasn't really a thing. And these are people that are just quoting a meme that have never listened to his whole quote about empathy and how it's an interesting take on empathy and how it's just really sympathy, and people that sympathy is real, but the empathy people have on the left, he made the argument that they have weaponized it. And you may not agree with it, but the context that people are putting it in is not correct. It's not true. It's no different than the stoning of gays. Charlie never said he believed in stoning gays. What he did was, during a discussion with someone who quoted a Leviticus verse, and that person brought, it's the Leviticus verse that talks about love thy neighbor.
Oh,
and basically,
yeah.
you know, trying to say that, you know, you fascist pig, Christian white supremacist with your God, you should be, you know, have more tolerance and love your neighbor, the LGBTQIA plus community, the reference. And Charlie's point was just how people cherry pick, and Christians and non-Christians both do this in this case, where people cherry pick Bible verses. Because he used as his example another verse in Leviticus where it talks about stoning gay people. So which is it? Do you love thy neighbor or do you stone gay people? Both are verses in the Bible, and you're just cherry picking the one. He wasn't advocating for it. He wasn't talking about bringing it back. He didn't have that kind of malice or hate in his heart. But that's how people have turned it, you know. And it's really that about every single issue, whether it be, you know, misogyny or racism. And think about this, because I dealt with this online last night. A white, I don't know what he identified as. He had a trans romantic partner who was a boy girl. I'm pretty sure that makes you gay. I don't know. Maybe he identified as something else.
I'm actually not 100% sure either, but I would agree with you.
But I'm just so confused lately that I just don't know. So, just talking about the Tyler Robinson and, you know, what he was. Yeah, so that's his position. Charlie didn't hate gay people. You know what? Pull up on my Facebook for me that I posted a video on my Facebook. And I think I really feel this way. Keep going down. Play that one. So this video I got it from Substack. It's been posted on other places. I've been touching my toe into Substack now. I know a lot of people, it's been a big thing for a while.
Not even sure what this is, to be honest with you. Is it just another like news website or something?
No, this is just well, let's just listen to the video and then I'll explain more. Yeah, it started from the beginning. There you go. So you don't, I mean, people have to realize there are conservative gay people. And I don't think that this person, was necessarily in that category, that he's somebody that was, he was a liberal. He was a Democrat. And this view of Republicans was presented to him, and this view of Charlie Kirk was presented to him. And what he did, instead of just buying into it, he went out and found out for himself. He went to an event where people like Charlie gathered, or who supported what his main mission was, and Republicans would obviously be at. He went to that, and you know what happened? He was treated nice. He was treated well. He didn't get ridiculed. He didn't get called names. He wasn't asked, why the fuck are you here? He didn't get any hate. He was welcomed in. You could just hear from the way he's describing it. He was welcomed in. I remember hearing that during the campaign, where some people who were maybe unsure about the Trump campaign and they went to a Trump rally were just amazed when they engaged with the conservatives, the Trumpsters, the maggots, that, holy shit, surprised they were treated really well. It reminds me of a person Dawn and I met at the gym, which is somebody we used to see at the gym quite a bit. Haven't seen him in a moment. I think he might have moved stores. But anyways, he would wear feminine workout clothes, women workout clothes.
Okay.
And also had an effeminate demeanor. But then he would be sporting a beard, like a light shaved, well-groomed beard.
Okay.
A little. And did that seem odd to me? Yeah, it did. It did seem odd, for sure. And there's, other people at the gym that, we talk to a lot of people, but there's some people we haven't engaged with. You don't talk to everyone, every single person. But we hadn't talked to him. And then Dawn needed some earphones, and we went to Target. And he ended up being like some kind of department manager, and we needed some help, and he helped us. And then we said, hey, we see you at the gym. Oh, yeah. Like, yeah, I've seen you guys, and we talked. He couldn't have been nicer and more helpful. We treated him well, despite, initially being, thinking, I just don't get the two things together. I don't get that mix. And I still don't get it today. But I didn't treat him bad because of it. Or because I believe that we shouldn't mutilate fucking children with surgeries and drugs does not mean that I hate gay people. I don't. I just don't want that choice being made for somebody who's under 18. And I don't think a parent should be able to make that choice and force it on them either. Or allow it to happen, or, it's just crazy. If somebody is, well, Troy, you got to let them do it because high suicide rate, man, and, they just difficulties. Look, they obviously have some issues. So you know what you should do? Whether they were transitioning or not, there's issues. Whether we give them the drugs or the surgery, guess what they need? To find a good therapist. And I realize finding a good therapist, at least in my opinion, in my life experience, is not easy. Because I've met more shitty ones than I've met good ones. I get it. But that doesn't mean the answer is mutilating people who are under the age of 18 that you won't let get a fucking tattoo. that just doesn't make sense to me. But my first reaction is never to be an asshole or a dick for no fucking reason. And you know what? Every time we see him now in the gym, we greet each other and chat for a minute. Every time. And I can't say that we originally avoided him or anything. We just didn't really have that opportunity connect necessarily. You know, but I also didn't put effort into it either. Because you could say that about other people where, yeah, we hadn't connected, but I kind of made an effort or found a way to their shoes. Or, you know, they have several pairs of the Jordan Lows. And, you know, I have that pair and comment and just bring things up to get to know somebody and introduce myself. I didn't make that effort. And that's on me. Am I obligated to? I don't know. I don't think so. But again, when we had the opportunity to engage, he treated me well. We treated him well. And now we're not friends. We don't have each other's number. Dawn doesn't have, you know, we're not, but we're friendly to each other. And we do more than just say hi. Hey, because the next time we see him, you know, I know that, you know, with things going on with Target in this area. And I think our Queen Creek store is one of the top Targets in the country. Yeah, in the country. Really? Like, it's big, dude. Our Target, I guess, is badass. And then with the new one being built, even crazier. But the whole point is, you know, I would ask him, show that I remember what we talked about the last time. Yeah, how's that going for you? You know? And whatever it is he has going on, he was able to get that job at Target. And by his merit, because I could tell he was good at what he did, that he hasn't been promoted for DEI purposes. Because I could just tell he's just good at what he does. And in the conversations, and I worked retail years ago, so, you know, pretty easy to identify that for me. But he's moving up, doing well. Now, that doesn't mean there aren't assholes out there, okay, that are going to say dumb shit, random dumb shit. Stop labeling all of us with that brush because of that dumbass motherfucker. Because that's the whole thing, is why we couldn't have conversations. We can't have conversations because anytime we talk about race, the white person is always the racist immediately. Somebody in a Facebook post last night said, made a comment, and he said something in the fashion of, I could probably find it, but he said something in the fashion of, you know, everything, all the hoops everybody's jumping through when it comes to honoring Charlie Kirk, that was like never done for a black person. And I typed a response and then I deleted half of it because my first comment would have been not terrible, but it would not open discussion. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Because I said, oh, first thing you do, play the race card. And I deleted that part. And I left the part where I asked, do you have an example? Just so I can understand what you're talking about. who should have been honored that wasn't, just let me know. Give me an example. And that dude went off back and forth and then attacked me. And it just like, I just chuckled because the dude had nothing. I called him out on it and he had nothing. Oh, I don't want to debate. It's not a debate, dude. I'm not debating. I just wanted to ask a civil question. And you're participating on here. You just don't have a good answer. So you don't want to go back and forth with me. Because you didn't get hate from me. You got a question. A question of me trying to understand why you think what you do. But it is obviously bothering me. Because there's you know what? I probably hate having the racist word thrown around more than, in my direction, more than Nazi. For sure. Maybe they're the same to some people. I don't know. But yeah, I hate that more than anything. Oh, so this is interesting. Stay here with the We Are Charlie. So get this. You're going to love this, Leo. So I see this meme. I copy it. I decide to post it. First, I posted it on TikTok.
Okay.
Right?
Just a still image.
Just a still image. And you know how it'll pick out a sound for you. So it picked out a sound for me that was Charlie making a point about something.
Okay.
Okay. But it was him talking.
Yeah.
And then the stuff I wrote, is what I wrote. This is the same thing I wrote here on X, is the same thing that I wrote and put on TikTok.
Okay.
Right? TikTok censored it. They deleted the sound. And then they shut the algorithm down. Like I had 11 views. Dude, I don't get 11 views. Okay? I don't get 1 million views, but I don't get 11. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just totally shut down. And I'm thinking, you guys just censored yourself. You gave me, I didn't go find this sound out on the internet somewhere because I'm not that good. I'm not Leo. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to go and get this sound and then put it with this shit. I wish I did. I do. And to some degree, I wish I did. But then
degree, yeah.
the other degree, I don't. I'm glad I don't because I don't have the time. That's why I need you. That's the whole point. Let you do what you do well. That's not what I do well. But it censored its own, and there was no way that it didn't allow me in any way to appeal it. Where I could have put it a line in the box that said, "This is your sound."
Like you recommended.
It's in the choices.
Yeah.
Just like when they'll say that there's copyright over certain things, but if it's in the choices that platform has, then you're good, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's how it works.
Supposedly.
But that's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. It's in the choices. You gave me this. In fact, you didn't even give it to me as a choice. It's the one thing you selected for me. I could choose something else, but you selected it for me. And since this was a post about Charlie,
yeah,
I thought since they picked it, that might be one that will work good in their algorithm then, because they picked it.
Yeah.
And it also being a trending topic. But yeah, that's what happened with that. Can you believe it? Like, so I get fired up when I hear Trump talking about TikTok and we've made a deal with China that here's what Trump is, the United States is probably government is going to own a part of TikTok.
I heard people saying
sure that's going to happen.
That they're going to end up getting rid of it in some way, shape, or form, or eliminating it or something like that. No,
I don't know what they're, but I'm saying that they've made a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump has talked about before the U.S., the government itself, having some type of partnership with the U.S. buyer to have a stake in it.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
Dude, I don't think so.
That just,
you know what I mean? Again, y'all worried about China checking out your stupid posts or sneaking into your computer, whatever the fuck you were worried about, right? You were worried about that, but you're not worried about the United States government doing that shit? Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's proof for you right there. Do I love everything that Trump does? No. Now, I was for TikTok originally not being shut down, but I'm also not for, but TikTok has become more restrictive since that first was announced a year ago or whenever the fuck that happened, but almost a year ago.
Almost a year ago, yeah.
Yeah. So TikTok hasn't gotten better where other platforms have gotten better. I am allowed to call you a pussy on fucking Facebook now if I believe you're a pussy, but I'll only... If I call you that, then you might want to take a look.
Reflect a little bit.
Reflect a little bit, because it's probably true. Because that's how I spit shit, man. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, the other platforms are in X and all of them. Instagram, I'm trying to rework my Instagram, but and a lot of the same stuff I do on Facebook also gets posted on Instagram. So I guess it's less restrictive than it used to be as well. But I'm trying not to always push the boundary to get shut down. But I don't know anything else. I like to know where is the line really? Where are we crossing the line? And I'm amazed at the shit sometimes, again, that especially on TikTok, that I'll get censored for. But again, I've repeated it over and over. It's a broken record. But things that I've seen other people post and also direct towards me. Like me saying this is bad, but they can call me this, this, and this. How is that different? How's come I can't respond to it? You're telling me if I report it, because I only report it out of curiosity to see what they'll do. Mm-hmm. I don't report it to give a shit or censor other people. I do it to compare so I can see if they'll do anything about those things when they're censoring me. So I have a comparison. That's why I do it, if that makes sense. So I had no idea we're going to kind of go that direction today. I knew we'd talk about Charlie. We are, just so you know. I think I'm going to take my microphone and stuff down with me on Sunday. Mm-hmm. We did get tickets to the memorial at State Farm.
Nice.
I don't know how that's going to work, dude. Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if there's 200,000 people and they're only letting 70,000 in. I don't know. How many tickets did they disperse? Because you didn't have to pay for them.
Okay.
And you know what? They could have filled that place and charged.
Easily. I think so.
You know what? And why not do that and raise money for TPUSA? And it's a choice. You don't have to fucking go. You don't have to buy a ticket. But maybe it would have been more orderly in getting in there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think they just want the crowd. And maybe they'll set up microphones outside because the doors, parking lot opens at 7, doors open at 8. The event starts at 11.
Okay.
And Trump's going to be there too. Like everybody's going to be here. RFK Jr., I think maybe Vance. I don't know if Vance is going to be here too. I don't know if you want the president and vice president at the same fucking place.
Probably not.
Probably not for security purposes. But I did see a list. It was a long list. A long, long list. So we're going to go. But I was thinking, I might take my microphone down with me and just talk to people outside.
Yeah.
And then we can search through that and see if we find anything good. But I bought some Charlie hats. They're red hats that say "Make America Charlie." So I bought that for Dawn, and I hopefully, since the whole thing is here in Phoenix, and TP USA is here in Phoenix, that I get my hat before the weekend. But I know that the demand is off through the roof for their stuff. Probably buy a shirt there. Didn't buy a shirt yet. People ask me about my shirts, and I'm having shirts made for myself, but I'm not having shirts made to sell because I want the money. I want people to buy stuff from TP USA. Not that me selling a handful of shirts would be a big difference, but I don't want to have to deal with the money and do that. But I do total respect for somebody who has a lot of power and can sell some decent amount of merchandise that are people we like. Our friends, Patrick Bet David, would love to really call him a friend. Patrick Bet David, that what they're doing is anything that has USA on it in their merchandise collection, 100% of that money goes to TP USA, not 100% of the profit. So if there's a $40 hat and it costs $15 to make the hat, doesn't matter. The whole $40 is going to TP USA. Now, so I do encourage people, if you want to really support Charlie and what we need to do going forward and have his work continue, specifically for elections, right? And there's going to be a bunch of new TP USA chapters. And so the money needed to start those or hire people or get the message out, get people trained, all that kind of thing. We want them to have the money. So buy directly from TP USA. Don't just buy random shit on Amazon, please. And then the other thing, Patrick Bet David, since 100% of it is going towards TP USA, I think that's a worthy thing as well. Because with him, the money will really get there. So that's not a question. So, did it have a list?
So, according to the memorial website, President Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, KIRK, and KIRK's widow, Erica KIRK, will give remarks. Others giving speeches include the White House Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles.
So Vance and Trump are going to be there.
Marco Rubio is going to be there. Robert Kennedy Jr., Pete Hegseth.
Well, see, Susie Wiles, so she was she was the head of his campaign, Trump's campaign.
Okay.
So she worked very, very closely with Charlie on the election, like I had explained to you that now it's coming out more where more people who didn't know are becoming aware because, I say it and other people are continuing to speak up about how important, because I had this on a exchange with somebody last night too, that somebody was surprised, about all this with Charlie KIRK. And I said he was the most important person.
Oh,
more important than Alon. The most important person. And he said, even than Ben Shapiro. Look, Ben Shapiro's very smart, but Ben Shapiro, even though he voted and endorsed President Trump, he wasn't out there trying to register voters. You know what I mean? He wasn't doing that. And he's a brilliant mind. But no, he wasn't trying to do that. Charlie was. Charlie was that important. And I'm glad people are waking up to that fact, especially if you're a conservative, you should know. You should know how important he was. It was a huge deal. Yeah. Then go ahead. You can read the
we had Tulsi Gabbard's going to be there. Donald Trump's elder son. Tucker Carlson, Stephen Miller, and surgery. Wow, surgery.
Sergio Gore.
There it is. For some reason couldn't pronounce that.
I don't know anything about Sergio Gore. I know everyone else.
I was about to say that's a pretty big list when it comes to names.
That's a huge list, my friend. The huge list.
And there's more names to be announced soon as well.
Well, one name we don't see on the list and that we need to talk about, and that's Pam Bondi. So you just pull up Pam Bondi. Google is fine. It'll come up, her remarks from yesterday, I'm sure. Yeah, that's good. She said some really fucking stupid shit yesterday. And I've kind of, I supported her initially, being the attorney general. And I've hung in there with her with all of the Epstein shit and her saying things and then not delivering on what she said she was going to do. Because with me, it's really simple. Again, I'm a simple guy. If you tell me you're going to do something, I believe you. And I expect you to do it. So when you don't do it, that's a problem. That's the problem with me. Don't tell me you're going to do it and then not. Or then blow it up. And then don't not come back to me and say, I know I told you this, but here's the reason we can't right at this moment, but it's still my intention of doing so. Doing something like that. It's like the person that owes you $20. I'll give it to you on Friday. And then you don't hear from them on Friday. Why do I have to call you, motherfucker? You're the one that said you were going to come meet me to give me that $20 back. It wasn't a gift. Whatever. That's kind of how I feel about Pam Bondi. And here's how I feel about hate crime and hate speech. There's no such thing. There should be no difference. If I physically assault you versus I physically assault you and call you a racist name, because I called you that racist name, it's now a hate crime. The acts are the same. The penalty should be the same. Just period. Don't complicate that shit. No reason to. If it's wrong, it's wrong. So I'm not, and you and I have had discussions about how lies are even protected speech. Unless, where does it cross the line? Slander and defamation. When you knowingly say something that is not true. That's when it crosses the line. And that's not protected and people can sue and people go to court over that, right? But I don't want to be the UK. I don't want to be England. I don't want to have people arrested for posts. The people that have said that nastiest fucking shit that they posted on TikTok and got fired for, if they were in the UK, now it might have been okay because that's speech I think the left likes, but you get my point. They would be arrested now. That's what's happening over there. They would get arrested. I don't want the USA to become that. I don't want those people to be arrested. Now, I'm okay with them being fired. And the reason I'm okay with them being fired is because I, as a business person, if you're a salesperson out there for me and you're entitled to say whatever you want, but if it affects my business, people don't want to come into my business because of things they heard you say and write. I can't have that. I have a right to separate our employment. You're not entitled. Me as a business owner, I'm not in the business of just handing out jobs. I'm trying to make a profit. As evil as that is, trying to make a profit. I don't owe you. But you do owe me something. You do owe me. How do you expect me to fucking pay you if you do shit that causes people to not come into the store? You're an idiot home office or Home Depot. Not Home Depot, Office Depot. Sorry, Home Depot. Office Depot. You're an idiot Office Depot employee who has the very simple job that when somebody comes in and they want 1,000 copies of a flyer, that you print that shit off. Some pretty low-level shit. You're not a genius, okay? But then you think you're going to be smart and tell somebody that you won't print it off because you don't like the person's name on it? You think that person's political? You don't agree with their views? That's not Office Depot's position. And now you cost them money for not doing that. And now a lot of people are going to they just don't want to deal with the hassle. Maybe it'll be good for small business printers out there because people say, I'm just going to go somewhere else. I don't want to have to go into Office Depot and have to fight with this asshole about something controversial. You just don't want to do that. You lose your job. Tough shit. That's just how it works. But I'm all for your right to say what you said. Just understand there's consequences. I've suffered consequences for yelling, challenge the call. But I made a choice. I made a choice to do that. And I guess I put myself at risk with the Phoenix Mercury. I put myself at risk. But it is what it is. Challenge the call. I could just sit there and just shut the fuck up and watch the game. But I made a choice not to. And I had to deal with the consequences and leave early. So I actually saw 21 and a half games this year. But I showed up for 22. Yeah. But I only saw 21 and a half.
I love that.
Right? Yeah.
21.5.
21.5.
The under over.
It was probably 21.48.
Yeah.
Because there were 2 minutes left
in the half.
in the second quarter. Yeah.
Gonna pull up a stat board for.
But I'm not. So I've said free speech, protecting free speech. We're the only country that does this. The only one that has it written in their constitution. And it's number one. It's number one on the list for a reason. That's how important it is. We're the only country that has it. It's to protect speech you don't like. And again, I'm okay with that. I believe in free speech. But there is a line. And people have crossed it. But there's not a legal line. People should not be prosecuted for it. We as a society should handle it, which is what we're supposed to do. And that if you continue to just be like that, then enough of us are going to say, yeah, we don't want to deal with you anymore. You're not important anymore. Or your employer might, or whoever. And that's just, but Pam Bondi really talking about here, hate speech that crosses the line into threats of violence is not protected by the First Amendment. It's a crime. And it's not. She's wrong. And every conservative came out and said this yesterday, that she was wrong. Now, typically, liberals support this. It's the liberals in the UK that are doing this. But now that it's out that we support protecting speech, what are the Democrats going to do now? They're going to go the other side?
Maybe that's the whole reverse psychology thing, maybe.
I don't know. But she should know better. She's the attorney general. She should know that I'm not an attorney, but there's countless case law that says that that's not true, that she's wrong. Yeah. So maybe, I don't know if that's why she's not there, but she's losing a lot of support.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot.
So
recently.
There's been speculation who might be in Trump's cabinet, who's going to be the first to go.
She's on that top of that list.
She's on the short list now, buddy. You know how you have those coaches. Did you see just 3 games into the season, 2 coaches have been fired?
I have not
College
seen.
football coaches.
Really?
The Virginia head coach and UCLA's. Now, I'm not surprised UCLA's head coach got fired.
Just wasn't a good.
Because, it was all this controversy during the offseason where the quarterback of UCLA went to Tennessee.
Okay.
And the Tennessee quarterback that thought he should get so much money or whatever made a big stink and left Tennessee and went to UCLA. Well, the dude that left Tennessee and went to UCLA has made himself look like an idiot because he hasn't played well or even close. And the dude that left UCLA and went to Tennessee is killing it. And in fact, Tennessee, if they're not in the top 10, they should be right now, that they're a team that's looking like they can make a little bit of a run in the SEC this year. Yeah, I don't want to get too much into it because I'll just get depressed and everything. No, seriously, dude. My football season, I've never had a football season turn into garbage so fast in my life. And it's maybe God's telling me I need to focus on other shit right now besides football because but I've seen so much. We've watched so many games because we can go back and watch everything we have on the YouTube TV because we have the ticket and everything. And we've done that, but Jesus, dude. So my Steelers lost a shitty game. They looked absolutely horrible. That was bad. The highest paid defense, and we looked pathetic. We cannot stop the run. Just horrible. And it wasn't a game where Rodgers was able to pick us up and carry us because we couldn't run the ball either. So I think I'll just say this about Tomlin because I'm a Tomlin supporter. I'm one that defends Mike Tomlin in Steeler Nation because part of Steeler Nation would they respect what he's done, but they want to change in coaching. I'm kind of like, who's better? Who's available that's better? But I'm at the point now where he's made so many bad decisions about offensive and defensive coordinators that I can't take it anymore. That it's the defensive and offensive coordinators. And if you don't think they make a difference, I'll just point you to Detroit, who is still loaded this year and was such a great team last year. I think you're hearing this.
Oh, okay.
You're hearing the
I thought I
cross.
heard someone knocking on the door. I
Yeah,
was like,
this is probably rocking back and forth.
gotcha. Okay.
Nice little cross gift Leo got me from New York. Appreciated it in the little Trump bobblehead too. Just absolutely love it. This is going to go up behind me in a good place. So
Nice.
hey, I'll take all the godly power looking down upon me I can get. Whatever we can do to make this shit work. Because it'll be I know what you're saying. You're saying it'll be a miracle, Troy, if you ever make it.
Oh,
I
no.
agree.
Nah, just a little bit of hard work to get us there. I truly believe that. I truly believe that. You were made for entertainment.
I can entertain myself sometimes. At least I have that going for me.
I'll tell you what. I'm definitely every time we turn this live stream on, I
good.
find some sort of entertainment in there. What you were saying about the head coach.
The head coach. Yeah, just the offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators. Detroit was my example that they lost because they were so good last year. They lost their offensive and defensive coordinator. And so far, one's doing pretty good and one not so much. Because just because you're a good offensive or defensive coordinator does not mean you'll be a good coach. It doesn't. But I see why they pick those guys.
Yeah.
You know, obviously it makes
They have
sense.
the more potential to do something
Absolutely.
like that.
Makes sense. But they're not quite looking like they're in rhythm yet. And they won't have as good a record as last year, but I still expect Detroit to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'll throw that out there.
Okay.
And how about your 49ers, man?
I mean, I was just looking at it.
And I would say this. I because I'm an Alabama fan, obviously I liked Mac Jones.
Okay.
And I thought Mac Jones had what it took to make it in the NFL.
Okay.
And he struggled with the Patriots. But let's be honest.
Looking
You know,
good.
they have another new coach this year, so he was under a different coach when he was with them. He had Bill Belichick, and then whoever else came after. It wasn't good in New England, and they just didn't have a lot of good pieces. It was not a good setup. So I think what it shows, him going into San Francisco and getting the job done, you put enough decent of people around him, he can get the job done.
Gotcha.
You know, he's not going to take Brock Purdy's job because they just paid him a shit ton of money.
Way too much.
And it's just one game. And they probably aren't going to be willing to trade Mac Jones, even if they got Brock Purdy back, because of how important in this league it's become to have a backup quarterback that can at least go 500 for you. That's what a backup quarterback should be able to do. Go 500. If they do better, great. But 500 is the standard.
The minimum. Yeah.
Should be. In my view. And so even if Brock's back and they're going, what if he went down in a playoff game? Then you're totally not counted out of it. Remember, think back to the Eagles. When was it Nick Foles?
Like 3
remember
years
there was
ago?
The one quarterback who's somewhere else now was a decent quarterback, but he got hurt, and then it was the backup quarterback that took him through the playoffs and the Super Bowl and won.
Right? Okay,
and won.
Yeah.
I believe it was Nick Foles. But you get my point.
I get your point.
That it can happen, and a backup quarterback can still win you a Super Bowl. And then still not be good enough to be the number one guy on another team. Isn't that so stupid? He struggled. Yeah, see, he did. But who was the other quarterback? Who did he come in for? That's the question. Who did Nick Foles replace?
Carson Wentz?
Carson Wentz, yeah. And look, where's Carson Wentz now? He's somewhere. He's not out of the league.
Commanders? No. The Vikings? The Vikings.
Okay.
They haven't been doing so hot either, right?
Well, because he'll come in. We don't know if J.J. McCarthy's hurt again or not. And what's this whole thing? Maybe we should look it up.
Yeah.
I want to know more, and I don't know why I never looked it up before. This turf toe. Why is turf toe so serious? Fraying of the ligament in the joint at the base of the big toe, caused by the toe being hyperextended, forcing upward, especially hard on artificial turf with flexible shoes. Symptoms include pain, swelling, bruise. Can't you shoot that shit up? I don't know. But Joe Burrow
really?
is going to have surgery. That's how severe it is.
Really?
Can you imagine? I mean, how frustrating? Can you imagine how frustrating that is for any player? And then you have a player as good as Joe Burrow is to be sidelined with turf toe. You know, it doesn't. If you're sidelined with an ACL, you're like
ACL, yeah,
your ACLs. But turf toe sounds kind of.
You're getting made fun of.
It's weird.
You're getting made fun of.
But it's not a weak thing. I'm not picking on him.
No.
But you know what?
But when you hear it, turf toe,
we both had the same reaction.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. I get
yes.
you.
That's like, really? Turf toe? The fuck is it about turf toe?
Fucking stretch that shit out or something.
I don't know. Or you think, well, won't it be better in a few days?
Yeah, that ass. Like something so like, what are they called? Like shin splints or something like that.
It's something. Shin splints can last a little bit. But shit, turf toe.
Surgery.
Taking somebody down.
Crazy.
Yeah, he might be out till December. So they are fucked.
Yikes.
Because they just paid both wide receivers, Chase and Higgins, big money.
Oh, they did pick up Higgins.
Yeah, and I have Higgins on my fantasy team. I don't know how that's going to work now, right? Who's going to throw him the ball? We don't know. And then they paid Hendrickson, too, on the defensive side. You know, he was holding out to the last minute. So they just unloaded a ton shit of money on this team. And
do they have a decent
I
backup?
thought they were going to be decent. I mean, they are 2-0. I don't know.
Who's their? Do you know who their backup?
I don't even know off the top. I didn't get
Jake
to
Browning.
Is that who it is?
Look it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm curious.
Yeah, some of these you just don't know. And then so funny, we made fun of Russell Wilson the first week, and then he beat the Cowboys.
Was that the
Brett Ripien, Jake Browning.
Oh, those. I don't know too much.
Yeah,
about
but
these people.
it's like, who else are they going to get? Who's available?
Because what? They're 2 games into this, technically 5 games into the season, counting preseason.
Yeah, but you don't count the preseason.
No.
Yeah, not for this, but yeah, I looked through a little bit of a list, and I don't know, because teams that might have somebody available might not want to part with that backup because...
I mean, Mahomes might want to transfer over to the Bengals for a season, maybe. What's going on with the Chiefs?
Wouldn't that be funny?
What is going on with the Chiefs, man? 0-2?
What's going on with the Chiefs is some craziness. I've watched the games. It's not that they've been terrible, but just not
good
clicking
enough.
yet.
Yeah.
I'd still be shocked if they don't make the playoffs.
Really?
I'll still throw that out there. That division is really, really shaping up to be really difficult this year. I thought the AFC North would be the toughest. It might turn out not to be now, especially if the Bengals can't pull it together, and with the Steelers being up in the air as well, just not being consistent. The Browns are still the fucking Browns. We know that. And the Ravens it's just crazy that they have that loss against the Bills because it was such a great game.
Oh, and
they dominated the whole game. Dominated. And you lose that. That is so fucking hard. But I didn't realize that Pittsburgh, remember I said the 2 Norths have the toughest shit.
Yeah.
The AFC North and the NFC North. Well, get this. I didn't even occur to me until last night, I think it was.
Okay.
We play everybody in our division twice. That's 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
And then you play another division in the other conference. You play every team in that division.
Okay.
And it rotates every year.
Okay.
So 1 year you'll play the North, then you'll play the South, then
Gotcha.
you'll play the East, then you'll play the West. That's how it goes.
Okay.
We play the North, the NFC North,
So the
which
hardest
is brutal.
one, yeah.
We play the Packers, which we, and we play the Vikings, the Bears. You mean the Bears and Detroit? We play them all. That's 10 games of tough games, like right there. Yeah, they're not doing us any favors, for sure. Like not with that schedule. That's a brutal schedule this year, but it's a fair schedule because of how they do it and rotate it. If people really took the time to understand it, they'd see how fair it is that they set up. They just don't. They don't pick. They don't give a team an easier route. It's
just
really
whatever you land on is whatever you land on.
And then the other games. So if you're going to play a team in the other division, and you're only going to play one team in that division, then if you finish second, you're going to play the team that finished second last year. Gotcha. That's how they do it.
Gotcha. So there's a system to it, although it might look like they pick and choose.
So if you were better, you're playing the better teams, supposedly,
quote unquote,
which kind of tries to balance it out and make it
a little more competitive.
Which is what they want. And how about our Cardinals are 2-0?
I was about to tell you, look at the NFC West. Look,
and I didn't even get to go to the game.
No, you didn't get to go. Oh, because you were at the Mercury.
I chose to go to the Mercury game.
Mercury, yeah.
Which was so frustrating that we lost that game. I don't even want to
get into it.
I don't, because that was, first of all, my seats. And then second of all, we should have not lost that game. Just should not have lost it. Now, the Fever lost to the Atlanta Dream, but that was in Atlanta. But last night, the Indianapolis Fever won at home. Our problem is we lost at home. And what are the chances that we're going to win tonight in New York?
Never know.
New York should definitely be favored. So, but we'll find out and talk about it on Friday for sure.
There's
a couple other things I just want to hit real quick because we need to wrap it up. Here's what I want you all to do, because I didn't have time to get to everything I told Leo that we were specifically going to talk about. This is what I have written down on this paper here, people. This is my notes, okay? I did notes thinking that would help me and I'd be more prepared, and then I didn't even hit any of it. FBI Director Kash Patel, 3 things. Check out Kash and him going head-to-head with Mazie Hirono. And the physical fitness requirements for the FBI.
Are they updating it or what?
Dude, do you know how many pull-ups women are required to do in the FBI?
5, I want to say.
1.
1?
1, and she's bitching.
Yikes.
You know how many men have to do?
20?
3.
That still seems
3.
Pretty
Dude, they should all have to do 3.
Still.
There shouldn't be a difference. I thought we were doing away with these differences. I thought the standard was going to be what the fucking standard was for everybody. So she just made a case of why men and women are different, and right? And men women shouldn't play in women's sports because they're different. She was complaining about how fucking hard it was. These people don't even think about the dumb shit they say. Do they think that we can't put those 2 fucking things together, dude? Right?
That's hilarious.
But you have to connect them, right? Yeah. You have to connect them if you're a halfway intelligent person, which we're not because we're maggots, and some of us didn't get a college degree. We just happen to make a lot of money and be in the 1% anyways, you fucktards. So that one, I was going to spend some time on that because fitness is my thing.
Yeah.
Right? It was my thing. But how stupid is that?
That is really
totally stupid.
I mean, the fact that
she was arguing about it, that it wasn't fair to the women to be made to do 1. And he had to listen to that nonsense.
Oh.
And I can't stand Adam Schiff at all. And he got into it with Adam Schiff. And over Ghislaine Maxwell and being moved, her being moved. in the prison system and stuff.
Okay.
Now, he said he didn't have anything to do with it, that he did that, and he may or may not. I don't know what to believe about that kind of shit anymore, but I don't know. What is it we want? She's in jail. She's in jail.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure some prisons are worse than others.
That's for sure.
We'll get an insight on that. We have an interview we're going to be doing very soon with a guy named Larry Thompson.
All right, nice.
And Larry's written a few books. Larry was in prison.
Okay.
And he talks about the transition into life. And he went back twice. So he went to prison 3 times, dude.
Wow.
Before he got his shit together.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's got his shit together and he's changing lives. And it's an amazing story. Just amazing story. Yeah, I'm excited about talking to him. Really. He just sent me his book. So it's better when they send me the book because I actually do read it and I can interview you better when I read the book.
Yeah, you have more information to go off.
That's how I used to do it.
Cool. I'm looking forward to that one.
And then there's a whole line of them. Oh, this one you just got to play. Yep. Is it in there? Do we have it?
Yeah.
With the, I don't want to play the whole 13 minutes, but you can find the place where.
What exactly would he be talking about?
After it would be near the end.
Near the end.
If this is just a clip of that whole time. Yep, back up. Yep. Nope, don't go back any further. Right there. Nope, back up just a little bit. Yep, right there. And you play that, and I'm going to go to the bathroom. That worked out good. And I've seen it like a bunch of times.
A few times, yeah. The girl in the background is just smiling the entire time. So mad.
Wow. That's good. We don't need that part. I just wanted that because I can't stand Cory Booker, and these have all become political shows. We saw not long ago about when RFK Jr. was having to do battle with these idiots and pushing back, and he should be able to respond after the question when a senator's time ends, everybody should have that ability. Who's ever sitting in that chair should at least be given a minute, 2 minutes, whatever time they allot or agree to be able to respond. They should be able to do that. And he's just a rude asshole. And I don't like Cory Booker. And guess what? The reason I don't like Cory Booker is not because he's black. If he was a white man, if he was a purple man, if he was fucking polka dot and acted like this and showboated like this, I would still not like him. And I shouldn't even have to say that. I'm so tired of having to frame what I say in this way, because somebody else said this, and it's been bothering me since. And so maybe we'll talk about it on Friday. It's really been bothering me. And I want you to think about this too, because I like when you contribute to our to our racial discussion.
Okay.
How do I prove I'm not a racist?
Yeah, that's a hard one, because if you're
No, how do I prove it?
there is no safe way to prove that you're not a racist, because if you're trying to prove that you're not a racist, it comes off as you being a racist and you're trying to cover it.
Yeah, but we're only trying to prove that we're not racist because somebody is saying that we're racist.
Mm-hmm. In my
because of maybe a particular viewpoint, but not one where it's
super
where if we're talking about DEI, you're talking about race, because race is that component about DEI.
Yeah.
But having that discussion about it, or having an opinion, or valuing somebody's merit over the color of their skin does not make me a racist. So when I'm having that discussion with somebody about DEI and they call me a racist, how do you prove you're not? But that's why they use it.
Exactly.
That's why the other side uses it. That's why they call you a racist, because it's so hard for you to defend yourself. Yep. It's so hard for you to prove that you're not a racist, so that you just shut up. Exactly. They want to shut you up.
Exactly.
And they wanted to shut Charlie up, and they couldn't. And when people got to know him, many changed their minds. Because, you're not allowed to say the whole, but my friends. Well, did you ever see, how many racists really have close friends or best friends of people of the race that they dislike?
Not very many.
Right? But you're not allowed to use that. You're not allowed to say that.
No.
Because you can't, and don't tell me you have black friends.
Yeah. No, that is such a hard angle to come from, because from experience and from hearing people and listening to this and that, trying to defend yourself from not being racist is a very hard task.
Like the people that are truly racist, right? Like the people the Nazis, the white supremacists and stuff. They don't believe, if I'm correct, okay, I think I am, because I'm old and I remember this shit. I believe they don't like the mixing of races.
Correct.
They don't like mixed marriages. They don't like mixed children. Yeah. Am I correct about that?
It's like a pure blood kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. And that's and you have black people that feel that same way.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what I was going to say. I think pretty much in every race, you're going to have a group of people that feel the same way.
Yeah. So then my question is, what white supremacist had a black, we'll just go with male, what white male white supremacist had a black female as a wife? That's not really a thing, right? They would never do that.
No.
Okay. I guess, but dating wouldn't count, because you know what they would say, something stupid like that slave owners had sex with their slaves.
Yeah, but like, even when you think about the psychology of stuff like that, like at that point, because there was different types of slave owners, right? There was the ones that were truly racist and kind of whatever,
And there were other ones that it was just business.
It was business, exactly.
And that's a hard thing to say and digest.
Yeah, 100%.
I agree. I'm glad you said it.
Yeah, no, it's.
I agree with you
100%. It's unfortunate, but it's just like everything in life. Like that's just the way it was.
Yeah.
And the people that chose to go against it, a lot of those people were killed, or their properties were destroyed. They were hated throughout the. Unfortunately, it is the truth, but.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that would be a response that would come from them to say, "Oh no, that's not."
No,
you can't use that. But
anything with race is super hard to defend. It's just because people are so quick to point a finger and be like, "Well, because you're doing this, you're gonna be this or that."
The whole point. That's Charlie's whole point, because you've learned enough about me that you know now how I grew up, and I'm not a minority in my generation. Like this is my Gen X, my generation, and the progress that we were making was fucking fantastic. And I'm so upset about losing the progress that we made. And I strongly dislike when people want to take us back to to the 1960s, or pretend because you didn't get to participate in it and you have some romantic feelings about that time and being a resistor and raising up your fist that you want that to be now. It's not. And I'm not going to let it be now. And I think there's enough of me, and I need to get into this. We could I have so much now.
He's getting riled up.
So much now. Well, no, like I have a different take than other people now. I have not just a race, but I have a different take on how we handle this Charlie KIRK situation because of me personally. I've told you that the worst way to approach life is as a victim. Even if you're a legitimate victim, I legitimately had people rip me off. I legitimately have a reason to hate, despise, and hold disdain and wish for the death of the person that I encountered or who was in my life at the time that owed me money, and I went to get it, and then there was a fight, and then there were cops that showed up, and then I'm in jail. It's on the news. And from that point on, I lost everything. That $15,000, I promise you, wasn't worth the $3.5 million that I lost because of it, and more. And the time lost, and the time I had to rebuild. If I hadn't had to do anything for that, it might be a $15, $20 million business by now from where I was at. But I had to let that go. And that's so fucking hard, man. So hard. I had to deal with that deep kind of loss. And I had to say, Troy, it's your fault. Even though I could make a great case and legitimately blame someone else. That's how I think about the Charlie KIRK thing. We want to blame the left, and I believe there's blame to go towards the left with the rhetoric, and that their rhetoric is way bigger than the rhetoric and violence that people might think is on the right. I'm sorry. It's not 50-50. It's not 60-40. I think it's more like 80-20 or less, and it's 80% on their side. You could disagree with that, but that's what I firmly believe from everything I've analyzed to see. That's my best guess. But that won't get us anywhere. We won't win that way. And we've been too passive. We've sat back. It's our fault that Charlie KIRK is dead. And how many other conservatives are you going to see that are going to own it? Not as MAGA, not that the shooter's MAGA, because he fucking wasn't. even though you fuckers want to label that shit, okay? And he was labeled as being on the left, and then you thought you had information because of his parents that he was a right-winger, a white young right-winger, and then that fell apart, and he's really a left-wing radical into the furry shit, like trans stuff. There's I don't even understand the furry shit, dude. Like, I understand that the least of anything.
Yeah, I tried like making sense of it a long time ago.
And you know what? I'm not going to spend any time on it because why should I spend my time on 0.000012 of the population?
Yeah, I agree.
Be weird. You want to be weird? Just be weird.
Yeah.
You can be anything in life. You're choosing to be weird. Be weird. Just don't push your weirdness on me. Yes. That's all.
Please.
Or kids. Or our kids.
Yeah. Yep.
You don't get to do that either. Kids like furry things. Yeah, we need to keep your ass away from the kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. But you're not going to hear. I haven't heard it. I've been listening. And I'm not just taking this point of view to be the opposite of other conservatives. I'm taking this position because I know it for a fact. I know that it is true. We can't change other people. We can only change us. So when they say, why should we turn the rhetoric down? Donald Trump, you can't change Donald Trump. You can change how you react to him. You can change what you do. And I need to heed the same advice. I've even said it. And I've done a poor job of it. Because it's a mix. It's hard. I admit that it's hard. The wanting to push back against the ignorant shit and be like, fuck you, because I'm sick of your dumb shit and what you've done to this country. I'm sick of you, all the name calling you've had. And honestly, truth be told, no, I don't want to kill you, but I do want to punch you in the face. That's the God's truth. I really do. I really want to punch you fuckers in the face. I don't know how many people will admit that. I know I'm not the only one. Some of y'all might not admit it. And it's that struggle between that and being Charlie. Because Charlie never did that. He was so much better. So much better. I said it last episode. So much better than me. So much better. And yet you still throw all that dirt on him. It's just insane. Stop with the crazy theories. Last thing, stop with the crazy theories about Israel and all this crazy stuff. Okay? Stop it. Did he have some help? We'll find out he had some help. That whole signs thing that some in the crowd were doing, that's a real thing. They're working on it. There were people who knew before it happened. Here's the thing that we all need to make sure happens, no matter what side you're on. We need to make sure that we are told everything. Not like President Trump's. I want to know everything that happened in Pennsylvania. I still want to know what was on the kid's computer or what did they find out. Just because he got shot and killed and there's no trial doesn't mean I don't want to know. You mean to tell me they just said, well, he's dead, there's no investigation? No. I want to know what are the results of that. And it's been a year and you can't even give me a motherfucking update in over a year? Come on, man. I'd like to be able to trust the people that I voted for. Stop making it hard. As a conservative, we want that information. And even the next dude, at least he's alive, the one that tried to kill him on the golf course, right? We want to know. Just like we wanted to know about the Epstein files for years. So you people on the left can shut the fuck up about the Epstein files because your fake outrage is just that, it's fake. You've only cared for 6 months and you only care about it as a weapon that you think you might be able to destroy President Trump. And if you can't use it to destroy him, if it's released and there's nothing there, you're not going to believe it anyways. You'll have another thing, so it won't matter. It still matters to me to find out. And that's getting back to the Pam Bondi thing again, circling back. When we were told that there was a minute of that missing video, and now when the stuff got released a week and a half ago or whenever that was, that missing minute was in there. Why'd you lie about that minute? Stop lying to us. Stop thinking we can handle it. Stop thinking there's going to be riots. If there's going to be riots, there's going to be riots. They're going to do what they're going to do. And we already know who they are. And so if they do those things, stop being a pussy fucking mayor. Stop being a pussy fucking governor and put your motherfucking foot down and get law enforcement in there and shut that shit down. Do not let them burn cities. Just don't. But not telling us because you think shit might happen, that's not acceptable. We need to know. And we want to know about this and this kid too. We want all of the information, not just some of it. Don't hide shit. Don't make us question you. Because that's how we get these stupid fucking theories and people going down rabbit holes and thinking all kinds of retarded shit. Because I've read a bunch of retarded shit.
Me too.
Like, come on, man. No. Do I think it was just as simple as one kid on a roof?
Definitely not.
No. But some of the shit you all come up with, you all think you're writing a fucking movie script. All right? You're not. You're just totally making it up. And then you don't even play it through in your head to like, well, that's kind of stupid, huh? All right. That's like, I went way fucking over and I couldn't stop it. I could probably go longer.
I was about to say, you could definitely go a little bit longer.
I could have. Maybe we should have just done that. I don't know, because it'll make good clips. There should be something there we can fucking use.
There's definitely a few in there. I already marked it down. Right.
Got to do something. And then my dumb ass, you got to remind me, like, we got to have a sign. Every time you show me the sign, throughout the thing, I'll mention that it really help us out if you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, pass this on to somebody else. We thank you for tuning in. We really do, because we're nobody. But we're nobody that is just like you. And we appreciate you being here. Just nobody's getting together talking about nothing. All right. God bless on this hump day, this Wednesday. Get through your week. Go at it. Go hammer at people. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy.
Whoa! Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitted.